Hello, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for coming. I'm just a bit puffed out. Sorry about that. I was just playing Scrabble in the dressing room with the other comedians, and I had to. One of the venue people told me that I had to be on stage quite quickly, so I ran through the foyer and past the box office and round the back, but quite a tactical error that, but that's hardly your concern, is it? But yes, welcome. See, what happened is, like, usually there's a door on this wall here. The door's still there, it's just closed. And what's happened is this show has been so popular that we've had to add these extra seats here to meet the demand, so, yeah. My wheeziness is your fault, in a way, but it is undeniably a good thing. We're filming the show. You should have already known that. If you don't, and you're in witness protection, we can only apologise, but the mob boss is going to recognise your laughter, and he's going to come and find you and your family, so yeah, cool. Although I'm just noticing now that the stage is on a bit of a kilter now, isn't it? I feel some of you might have been expecting Harriet to come out, weren't you? This guy doesn't look like Harriet, but he hasn't said his name, so he still might be. He does have long hair. Harriet doesn't have long hair, though. Clearly, many of you already know her quite well. Okay, so the structure of tonight's show, as I will obligingly reveal, is I'm what is known as a support act. I'm a bonus, which I've just realised, it sounds a little bit like boners. Okay, that's lazy. So it's going to be me and then a couple other comedians, and then we're going to have a bit of an interval. And during the interval, you can use the bathroom and get some drinks and do whatever you like, really. Not whatever you like. Don't go and kill a man. No, it's okay, officer. The comedian gave me carte blanche. And then we'll come back, and then Harriet will do her solo hour, which is quite good. This is the final night. It's closing. Who was here yesterday or the day before? Yeah. One. It was quite good, wasn't it? His silence is an implicit agreement. It was quite good. I've been having a good time. So regardless of how tonight turns out, I'd like you all to bear that in mind. It's kind of fun having the stage facing this way. It's like we're not really performing for any of you, and we're not really performing for any of you. We're performing solely for this structural pillar, and if I can get that laughing, or even cracking a smile, tonight will be a rousing success. And some of you may have also noticed the chip packets on the floor, and I think it would be quite funny if I just jumped in there and rolled around a little bit. It wouldn't actually be funny, but the idea of it is the idea of dozens of people paying $20 to watch a grown man roll around in trash. I think he's a raccoon loose, guys. He's our very own Phantom of the Opera. Doubtless many of you who have seen comedy before would probably expect the comedian on stage to be quite funny immediately. I'm not a fan of that kind of nonsense. I find that a little bit contrived. I'm more of a staggering on stage, wheezing, wondering if I've bought my inhaler. That's quite all right. So, we're filming. Have I missed anything? Any professional MCs in the audience feel like anything I missed?
What's your name?
Oh, okay. They say you only get one first impression, so here's my second. My name is Reuben Crisp, and I'm not as bad at this as you're all now thinking. So I'll be here for like 10 minutes or so, and someone else will come along, and then I already said that. Cool. So who here knows Harriet? Give us a cheer. I think that was everyone. Who heard about this event? How did you hear? Did you hear? Who? I don't want to sound like a diva, but this microphone is making it sound like I have a stutter. Who heard about this event through Facebook? No? Okay. Who heard about this event through that news article? No, okay. Nobody? It's 2019, man, come on. Who heard about, who is here because they thought it was something else? Who is here because they like market research questions thrust upon them at the start of a show? Anyone? Who is here because they've ridden the Harriet train once and they want a return ticket? Hey? Is anyone here for that? Wonderful. This is, I can already tell this is going to be much better than the previous 2 nights, so I'm glad we're filming it today. This is going to be wonderful. All right, so tell you a quick story. So Christmas last year, I turned up at my parents' place a week early, and I forgot to tell them. I felt like my brain would have already dealt with that piece of administrative paperwork, but it didn't. And it's a bit weird coming to your parents' house and being confronted with a justifiable sense of unwelcomeness. I was like, did something happen? A similar feeling as I felt just before, when I feel like we were like, no, it's not Harriet. But it was the 2 days before Christmas, we all decided we were going to watch a movie together. So we did. We were in the living room, and my parents' living room has got two-seater couches and a big leather reclining armchair. It's big, it's made of leather, it reclines, and it is an armchair, all 4 of those implicit in the name. Now that chair obviously has my dad's name written all over it, quite literally. He's very possessive and his job gives him easy access to marker pens. But I walked into the living room and there was no one sitting anywhere, so I had first choice. And if I see a law, I'm going to break a law. So I popped myself in his chair, and then my mum and my sister came in and they sat on the other 2 couches, and they looked at me like I was loco. But at this point I had a plan formulating. So I popped into a half recline, not a full recline, a half recline, just teetering on utopia. I could hear girls and I could smell waffles. It's a comfy chair. And then my sister's fiance came in and they sat on the couch and they started getting comfy with their arms and stuff. And then my dad came in and he looked at me in a way that said, well, I've never killed one of my own children before. So I said, I thought you might want to sit with Mum while we watch Miss Marple. And he looked at me like, that's not going to work. And Mum looked at him like, would be nice. So he obliged and told me to enjoy the chair. And at which point I engaged into a full recline. It was quite comfy. And then I was watching my sister and Bree and her fiance Dan and my parents, 2 very loving relationships that both work out very well together. And both of the couples were rearranging their arms and heads and legs, trying to get comfy. And it was at that point that I realised that the lonelier you are, the comfier you are. Wonderful. So that's one of my stories, but tonight's not about me. Tonight's about more stuff. Okay, so the next comedian who will be coming out shortly, his name is Hamish, and I'm going to get you all to applaud real loudly and go wild and whatnot. I call him Inky the Squid because he has heaps of tattoos and 8 testicles. So will you please give it up for my good friend, it's Mr. Hamish Mabin Ross.